Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish Hot Rods and Customs. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack Podcast.
Hey, humans, Skull, this is Odorous from Guam.
Going to Battle Fear Factory.
This is George Corshunter Fisher.
This is Gatsby VELODROME.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Mike Nick from Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is
Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gatsby from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack Podcast.
Well, Andy, thanks for joining us on the show. I really appreciate you coming on, having a chat about, of course, the amazing Full Tilt Festival, which is happening on June 12 in Brisbane, and it's going to be off all around the country. I know a lot of plans got pushed back for a lot of bands, so I'm guessing you're absolutely hanging to get out there on the road, right?
Oh, we're itching to get to it. It's been the longest break we've had by a long shot. I think the longest we ever had from playing shows would have been early 2015. We probably had about 4 months off touring. So we've smashed the record. It's 13 months and change at this point. So yeah, it's time to get back to it.
Absolutely.
CJ's gonna fucking blow his brains out if we can't play these shows. So
well, I mean, how many shows did you get through after you released the last album, Human Target? We didn't even do an Australian tour. That's how far into it we got. We did one European headline tour in January, February last year. We did one show of our US headline tour, literally one show, and we got the close down orders from the mayor of the city of Philadelphia. Shut everything down, and we still played the show anyway. We're like, nah, you can't catch us. We did the show, and we flew everyone back to Australia. So everyone flew there, did the show, and then flew home. It was the longest commute. It was like 50 hours or something to play one show. Man, that is hectic. Yeah.
So we didn't get through a lot, which is a shame. But we've got a lot of friends in the same boat that dropped new records 2019. All the plans are laid out, all the groundwork is there. And then it just all fell apart. So, it's both exciting, but also like this weird bittersweet thing where it's like, what do you do? Do you finish where you picked off? Do you just Control Alt Delete, like just start again? We don't know. So I guess we'll see how these shows go for us, what the fans want us to do, and then we'll go from there.
I think it's just going to be absolutely mental, to be honest. I mean, look at all the bands that are on this bill. It's going to be just huge. All feeling the same way.
I'm pretty sure one of them sold out already. Melbourne maybe sold out, which will be bananas, Right. I think people haven't seen a festival of this scale in quite some time. So,
hungry for it, mate. And as I said, the bands are going to be as well. So it's just going to be the place to be. Yeah. Eaton's Hill in Brisbane, which I absolutely love. Yeah. But so many kick-ass bands on that lineup. Who are you looking forward to catching and catching up with when you're not playing?
My own band, I guess.
It's like I haven't seen you in so long, but
we haven't all been together in over a year. So I haven't seen CJ since I dropped him off at JFK in New York, and I was like, "Good luck, buddy. Like I don't know what's going to happen. I'll see you when I see you." I did see Sean the other week. I saw Kevin the other week, but in terms of having us all together. That's and plus our crew, we can't get our German crew or our US crew in, but even just the Australian boys, it's like we spend almost every day of our lives together for the last decade. So it's like having a share house or a marriage or a family, and then you split everyone up. So that will be probably the best part about it. Otherwise, I haven't seen Frenzal in a really long time, and we've got Alpha Wolf slated to come over to Europe with us in the future, so it would be good to check in on them. And luckily, Northlane, I got to see Northlane do the Alien tour in the States on a couple of shows, and that's probably my favourite album of theirs. So it will be good to see them do it at home as well.
You know what? There's something going on right now with metal, especially from Australia. Yeah, that it's really seems like
there's a big movement happening with metal. Like you guys, as you meant, North Lane, Alpha Wolf, and a whole bunch of others. I mean, you all have been slogging it out for a really long time, but right now it feels like you're on the verge of really smashing through. Do you feel?
Yeah, I feel it for sure. You know, Parkway obviously kind of pushed through that ceiling years ago, and no one really followed suit very shortly after. And in the last 5 years, I'd say, you know, Amity, us, North Lane, in Heart's Wake as well, have made great inroads overseas, which has kind of opened the door for your Polaris and your Alpha Wolf. So, you know, I think also our country's bands, like that little network of bands we just spoke about, don't stick together, but we do help each other out. You know, it's like, hey, North Lane took Polaris to Europe. We're taking Alpha Wolf over to Europe. Like Parkway took us to Europe a couple of times. Like it really does kind of help that we do stuff together, and it helps forward like this agenda of Australian music to the rest of the world, which I think is a great positive thing.
Absolutely. I mean, even the junior here at my workplace says to me the other day, he says, "Have you heard of a band called Black?"
All right.
It's
Here you go.
Yeah, I was like, mate, yeah, which is a good sign because he's like 16. So it's a good.
That is good. That is good.
The younger generation are discovering these bands for themselves. Yeah. And it's pushing things forward, which for a little while, I don't know, it felt like the younger generation were.
They definitely were. Like I see a lot of analytics on the business side of things, and we saw that one thing that is incredibly great is our fans grow with the band.
Yes.
You know, our fans went from 18 to 24 to 24 to 35 and beyond. In America, we've got fans that come to shows that are 60 years old, which is bananas. But definitely the kids were not picking up on, you know, heavy music as much as they used to. And hopefully it's coming back around. I think, you know, all ages shows in Australia, when us, Amity, Parkway, North Lane were coming up, were such a huge part of the music community. And because of venues or promoters or liquor licensing laws or security restrictions, that little pocket has definitely suffered in the last 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it will be interesting to see if there's like a new wave of all ages shows.
Well, we definitely need. That's how I started with this company. We started with my boss and I used to put on shows for like Parkway and all that back in the day, and we used to see all the kids just absolutely ravenous for it. And now it feels like it's that time again, which is excellent, mate. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited for you guys and everyone coming up. But your latest album, Human Target, that was just next level, man. Like,
thanks,
dude. It was way darker and brutal. It's a nasty album, and I mean it's such a good way.
Pretty full on. It was a fun one to make. We did it in I think November of 2018 is when we started writing it, and we finished it up in December. Like, I think New Year's Eve maybe was the last day that I recorded guitars for it. So those 2 months, it was really, really cold that winter. We did it in New Jersey, and I don't know what we were thinking about, what was going on in our brains, but it definitely came together in a way that we're very stoked with. You know, it pushed like a new level of aggression that we hadn't really kind of achieved with Dear Desolation. It was more like in your face and like to the point, I think. So, you know.
A lot of people have said that. I mean, when it came out, they're like, oh man, this album's just, stank face inducing. Everyone's like,
yeah,
it's the best. Yeah.
CJ sounds insane on it also.
He does.
You know? Like really good. Me and Will sat down with the sessions, you know, so we have all of the music as we record it, and we've got them going back to Hate, and we would just listen to his vocals. And obviously people love Hate. It's a very iconic deathcore record.
Yes.
But we're like, listen, if you just listen to his vocals and not what the song is doing or not what the lyrics are doing, he is so much more insane. Like, honestly, if you go and listen to it, we were blown away. We're like, he's come a long way. And I think also, you know, coming back to Dear Desolation, we recorded the vocals with him before we even announced that he was coming back. So he'd had a year off. And then we've hit the road hard 2017, 2018, and 2 years of touring, and his voice and his throat just sounds, it's disgusting. Like
I love that, you know, metal is the only genre where you can go, that's disgusting. And it's a compliment. It's an absolute compliment. But have you been writing? I know you've just moved house, but have you, over the last, you know, you released a single, was that Killing Season? That was in October. But have you got more on the way?
No, we haven't written anything new. So we don't. I said this in the last. I've said it for years. I was like, we are not a band that stockpiles tunes. We don't sit there, write a song, put it in the bank. For a few reasons, it would be too diluted of an idea writing across a large period of time. We liked it like Human Target, right? If we didn't write that in 1 month, it would sound totally different. The intensity comes from like doing it every day and every day. So we do like doing that. We haven't had an opportunity to do that. Also, there's no like deadline for when this record is due. Like, we don't know when we can tour. We don't. So, you know, when we kind of have an idea that everything globally will come together for us, we'll sit down and we'll go, all right, here's the ideas. Let's go. That being said, we do have like 3 or 4 songs in the bank that are done.
Cool.
That aren't to do with a record or anything. They're just leftovers. Just got to finish up some lyrics and stuff and finish recording that, and then we'll see what happens with them. Maybe they'll come out in 3 months or 6 months or end of the year. So, yeah, new stuff on the horizon, but we haven't actually sat down and written. I've got to learn how to play guitar first anyway, before... Well, I haven't played since July. I talked to Sean the other week. He hasn't played guitar in over 6 months. So, you know, we got to get like the hand, like, you know, the music is pretty technical. So we've got to get the hands like back in shape.
Back into it.
And then we'll be able to, you know, put our heads together and kind of crush it again.
Running upstairs, punching meat, hanging in a cold room, kind of get back.
Yeah, it's, you know, like Rocky.
Yeah,
it's pretty much
I know what it's like. Yeah, but it'll come back to you. It'll come back to you like pretty quick. But
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you also you played a bunch of festivals over the years, and I saw you shared that you did the Pulp SummerSlam. It was like 2 years ago or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Photos of that are absolutely insane, mate. I mean, but no one really thinks about. Like, everyone thinks America, Europe, and of course here in Australia, but there's these little pockets all over the world where just people are just absolutely ravenous for it.
Dude, Southeast Asia and South America, insane. I think, didn't Iron Maiden play to 1 million people one time in Brazil?
Something crazy like that, man.
How many people came to your show on the weekend? Oh, just like 1 mil.
Where would you even park? Like 3 states over? Like,
dude,
it's just crazy, man. But you probably... Where have you noticed that thy art, apart from like the Philippines and stuff like that, that these little pockets that you've really taken off?
It is a tough one. We don't really do festivals in America. They're more radio rock bands, so we don't really get too much of a look in. So I don't know what the appetite is for us. If we played one, I'd be able to say, oh yeah, pretty sick. We do some like more boutique or like niche 2,000, 3,000 cap festivals in the States. And they're always very, very insane. But in terms of generally where we do the best, like UK has great festivals, Download, Bloodstock, and Germany, obviously. You got your Varkan with Full Force, all of those sorts of things. Every 2 years, normally we do them, and they're insane.
Oh, man.
Like, absolutely insane. We've had like Walls of Death and Circle Pits with like over 10,000 people in them. And you're just like, what? Spain, there's a great festival there called Resurrection Fest. And one time we played right before Kiss played to finish the festival. And we played to about 50,000 people.
Oh,
it was bananas.
That is bananas. Bonkers.
Yeah, absolutely bananas. So, you know, it's crazy because Australia is such a smaller thing for us. Metal isn't really we don't do the sort of numbers that your Amities or Parkways or North Lane that have singing or crossover appeal to the general public. We're too brutal. But some of these pockets in the world just have this thirst for vicious metal. And thankfully, we get to go over there and play to them nowadays, which is awesome.
Mate, I love that. I love that, and it's my dream to go to Viking one day. One day when it all opens up, I'll get back to it.
You should
go,
go.
Mate. I know. Hopefully one day. But in the meantime, mate, are you going to be bringing heaps of merch up? People are keen to throw you some dollars. I'm still waiting on my Thy Art is Poiter shirt.
Thy Art is
Tagged
Poiter?
in that. Poiter, you know Poiter?
From Aversion's Crown.
No, Poiter as in Eric Banner.
Oh God, I remember this one.
Yeah. That was me. I'm the one that
You came up with. If you've got any other ideas, let me know and I'll make the shirt. We'll see how it goes.
Well,
it might be a bit niche for like the younger kids.
Oh, mate, probably
know.
old dudes like me.
But I'm always down for a goofy shirt.
I love it. I'm all about it. But dude, what's next for you guys apart from this excellent tour that's coming up?
We've got these full tilt things. I think we're going to try and like pony a few shows around them, get back into the swing of things, figure out how to play a show again, figure out how to set up all our gear, all those sorts of things, get used to that. And then hopefully that'll kind of give us a bit of a reset, see how the crowd reacts and what our next step is. We don't really make too many concrete plans too far out in advance. We pencil in a lot. We're booked out for the next 3 years. Who knows when or whether any of those things will happen. So we just play it by ear. I suppose the next thing will be do these shows, get the hands back in shape, maybe contemplate writing a record and go from there.
Get back into it. Awesome, brother. Yeah. Well, it's been awesome hanging out with you. The Full Tilt Festival kicks off in Brisbane on June 12 at Eaton's Hill. We'll have all the links down here, as I always say. Take care, stay brutal, and we will see you soon, my friend.
Yes, hopefully. See you soon.